Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of 7 Questions with the Saints. My name's Adam DeBeck. I'm the Director of Career Development at Holy Cross, and again, joined here today by Miah Wells and Logan Montague. Miah is a 2017 Holy Cross graduate with a business degree and minors in marketing and studio arts. Logan, a 2016 Holy Cross graduate, part of our 3-year intensive baccalaureate program here, who majored in business and has minors in marketing, communications, and Spanish. And together they have opened Divinely Planted Marketing. So Divinely Planted Marketing team, welcome to 7 Questions with the Saints.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we're so happy to be here.
Really excited to chat with you guys as well. And before we get started, I would love if each of you could just take a quick minute and share with those of us watching your journey since graduation.
Once I graduated, I took a little bit of time to travel. And then after that, I, got a job in the working world and started out my career at the tire rack here in South Bend, still local to the area and born and raised and have stayed since. And then I was there for almost a year, and then I went to a RV company in Elkhart called Dometic, more of an RV outdoor company that I spent most of my time in communications and public relations, working with the media, traveling to trade shows and events. So that was a lot of fun and taught me, the foundations of marketing skills that I had already learned in school, but applying them to be able to use to create our own business and now work with clients on our own.
For me, I kind of grew into my internship that I started in Holy Cross. I interned at Girly Leap Automotive, slowly worked into part-time there. And then after I graduated, I went to full-time and actually stayed there for 4 years.
That's great.
Yeah.
Great. I love the story of 2 local people finding great opportunities here with great local organizations, both of which have some really cool Holy Cross ties, and now a great new connection off of them. So you two, both being graduates together, probably have a lot of time to talk about Holy Cross and reminisce. But even as you talk to others about your experiences and they say, tell me about Holy Cross, there's probably words that you understand the meaning to of Holy Cross that you use. And I'm wondering, just when you speak with others, how you describe Holy Cross College and how you define those words as you're describing them to others.
When I think of Holy Cross, people ask, how was your experience there? What was it like? And being such a small, tight-knit school, it really becomes your community. And you learn to know your classmates and know your professors. It's not just a lecture. It's very discussion based. You can see your professor outside of class and know them. And even, after graduating, I actually used some of my professors as references to get a job. And so that was really cool for me that, they knew not only my name and a face, but they knew me and could provide that reference. And so I think that's the most important, word to me about Holy Cross, and when describing it, is that community and that tight-knit feel, because it has helped me, in my career starting out immensely. And even now, we have people, from Holy Cross reaching out and wondering what we're doing with our own business now.
For me, Holy Cross was about new experiences. It was a time for me to kind of get to know myself more and they say that growth comes from uncomfortability, and I would say that Holy Cross definitely provided that in a positive way. I was pushed outside my limits, and that really caused me to accelerate.
That's awesome. And definitely both of those words, right, of being uncomfortable and growth and community certainly play into your current world every day. So yeah. I love that. And then ladies, thinking about the alumni experience, the college went back and started to look at a lot of our students who are alums, who are still very much a part of our family here, and tried to say, what do we really identify them as being in the world? What are the identities that kind of match the goals we had here? And so those identities for us are now really what we're trying to instill in all future students as they progress towards becoming alumni as well. And those words are scholar, citizen, leader, and disciple. So in thinking about scholar, citizen, leader, disciple in relation to your experiences, which one of those words might best describe your own growth and time here at Holy Cross?
Yeah, so the word leader is what really resonated with me the most. Obviously, they all play into that, but leader was one that stuck with me because when I went into college at Holy Cross, I was an extreme introvert. I did not like to really get out of my comfort zone or talk to people or lead a group and work in group projects. I preferred to kind of keep to myself. And by the time I left, I kind of more identified as an extroverted introvert per se, where I was more comfortable, getting into a group project and taking the lead and doing those things. And then as I've grown in my career, I feel like I've really fully grown into that leader perspective and been more kind of on the extroverted side. Working in public relations for years, I have had to, talk to people all day long, every day. And, so that's really helped me grow, from my professional life into my personal life as well, and made me, more of a leader.
For me, the word scholar is where I have seen the most growth because of Holy Cross. In high school, my schoolwork and, the homework and the projects, that stuff came really easy to me. And when you get in college, and especially like a great place like Holy Cross, I learned to perfect the task of refocusing myself into to build up determination to get those tasks that are a little bit more difficult, to get those things done.
Kind of jumping off of those growth opportunities, something that hasn't changed since your experience here is students are still exposed to this idea of being a part of a global community. But that can happen inside the classroom and outside of the classroom, as you well know. So in thinking about your own experiences being from South Bend, but encountering and discovering your own identity as a global citizen or a person within a global community, how do you think this exposure to diversity of thought and culture prepared you for the work you do today?
So neither one of us actually had the opportunity to travel globally with Holy Cross. We had both considered it at the time, but we didn't get to go on the global trips. We had, of course, the local immersion ones, and I think those were really great preparing us for our futures. Miah and I ended up traveling to Ecuador together last summer, and that's really kind of where we started to really pray about our future opportunities and together and thinking about a business and together. So, with that, value of Holy Cross, instilled in us of wanting to travel and learn and grow about, new cultures, that really helped us to take the leap of faith to kind of, go to another country together and think about those things. And then for me as well, kind of a different note is, in my career, I worked for a Swedish company, and so I was dealing with people from all over the world and understanding, that everyone has different cultures. That I think Holy Cross, making that an important value in the curriculum, an everyday thing, really helped me in my career because I had language barriers. There were, things in Europe are done very differently than they are in the United States and all over the world. So that really helped instill that in me, and having the opportunities, whether it was through Holy Cross or not, to travel and learn about other cultures was also a really big help.
Yeah, Miah, anything to add?
Yeah, so referring to the same trip she was talking about, us going to Ecuador, that was my first time discovering myself as a global citizen. It's coming back to a different way of life. It just helps you see that just because everyone doesn't live how you live, or have the same amount of money or whatever. Everyone has a voice that deserves to be heard, a story that deserves to be understood and considered when I, as an American, go back to my normal everyday life.
Yeah. That's a common theme of some of these is people saying once you experience something or once to be aware of it or you have considered it, there's no turning back. And I think that's incredibly true. So thinking about, those experiences that we've talked about so far, a lot of knowledge was gained, but certainly being in marketing, there's some skill and practical application things that you had to be savvy at enough to get your first job or to talk with others and demonstrate skills in order to get business. So where at Holy Cross picked up professional knowledge, but also the practical skills that really prepared you to do the work you have done and the work you're currently doing?
I gained most of my professional skills from my internship, and then from beyond that point, I never would have seen what it looks like for the back end of a company, and how not even just marketing, but just a company in whole. So I got to see sales. I got to see parts, like all these operating forces of this larger company, and just what it's like to be a brand and, be a representative, like to like a local community.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Same. My internship was with the South Bend Mayor's office. It was Mayor Pete in office at the time, but I focused mainly on, their communications and their public relations, which is what I knew I wanted to go into, but I had never applied it anywhere. And so, having Holy Cross make an internship a requirement is actually a huge blessing, because I don't know that had I gone to another school would have, not required an internship had I would have done that, because I was spending my summers working for money, at a part-time job, and, being able to, actually being blessed to have been required to do an internship. I'm really glad for it, because I learned my professional skills by working, even though I didn't, necessarily want to go into a government office, you learn a lot of professional skills there. And that was really helpful to me.
So today's question comes from Riley Horn, who is a senior here at Holy Cross from Crown Point, Indiana. She's double majoring in business and communication and has minors in marketing and visual arts, so dabbling in all of the areas, touching on your guys' experiences there. She's a member of the Saints Women's Soccer Program. Her internship was with the Kelly Cares Foundation here locally, and she's also an alumna of the Applied Entrepreneurship Program here. And as this program has progressed, she actually was able to open her own small marketing organization called For the Cause Marketing, kind of emphasizing on helping nonprofits make their voices louder and amplified through using student talent. And her question is, opening a business probably requires you to have discussions about what your core values are. So she's asking, what core values did you learn from Holy Cross that prepared you for entrepreneurship? And then what advice might you give to a student who wants to become an entrepreneur or start their own venture after graduation?
My advice would be to feed into yourself, to get to know yourself. You don't want to rush the process of doing something that you love and the products that are going to come out of that. You really want to cultivate like what you're good at, and then that will help you in the long run be able to present that to others once you really hone in that skill. So a core value, I would say love to yourself, and just feeding into yourself, investing into yourself that way.
I agree. She took a lot of the words right out of my mouth. The core values to me, I think that, Holy Cross taught me was to really focus on myself, and kind of, a word that I'm not sure if they still use it in a lot of classes at Holy Cross, but, during our time was discernment, and kind of learning, what exactly, that greater thing out there is for you. You don't have to know it all while you're in college, but starting to learn about yourself and, doing things that are outside of your comfort zone, and learning, what your core values are exactly, and what you are willing to, do for a career, and what you're willing to put yourself out there for and what you're not. I think it's important, and that you continue growing, continue learning, whether it's through online courses or anything after school. always be learning and growing is the most important thing. And I think that really grows into entrepreneurship as well, because had we just stayed in our comfort zone and stayed in our careers that, we were making a living. We were safe. We were, content. But then starting our own business is what has really helped us prosper and grow and be happy all the time. So, and that's really fulfilling ourselves, like filling up our own cup first, so that way we can pour it out to other people.
Yep.
That's amazing. And, not separate from that idea, and a lot of the ideas we've talked about here is this idea that the relationship you two have with one another, that started here as roommates and classmates in many of your courses, has extended beyond there. So this next question is about this campus as a relationship-based school that we really say, come here to get to know yourself, but do so in a community. So in thinking about Holy Cross as a relationship-based school, do you guys have any stories about conversations with a mentor or moments from Holy Cross in a classroom that you've forgotten and that maybe are timely in helping you make decisions or go about your world today?
For me, it wasn't a specific conversation, but just in the Times meeting, Professor Thorpe Gordon, she was my counselor, I think for all my 4 years there. But many times I would just meet with her when I was feeling discouraged, to find that balance, or even myself. She always provided resources into how I could help myself. Listen to me and to kind of help sort my problems out in that time was super beneficial. It was actually a time where I was learning about ADHD and how that was affecting me in the classroom. And so just to reemphasize that, Thorpe Gordon and her just listening did a lot for my learning process in general.
That's great. Logan, anything for you?
Yeah, mine's very similar. There was, towards the end of my last year of school, I was going through a lot of really difficult personal things, and I was letting school go to the back burner and being, an A student per se, and, being at the top of the class, it was really hard on me to accept that, other things were coming before that. And so I'm thankful that we were able to have those strong relationships with our professors and with our mentors at Holy Cross, because it helped guide me and learn how to have those conversations in my professional career.
Really difficult to understate the importance of listening and having mentors. Thinking back on your time at Holy Cross, students are often curious about what do we not know about what lies ahead of us and what could we do to better prepare for it. So if you were to be able to either give advice to yourself or to give advice to students in situations like you, what are some pieces of advice or actions you would encourage people to take?
So for me, I have 3 tips. Explore your passions. Life is too short, to be, have a large bank account and to just be unhappy about what you go into the office or what, you go to work to do every day. Also, I'd say put God first. Before our meetings, we pray and we give our workday to God and ask that He would bless the work that we do. We know that we couldn't come where we've come without Him for sure, because nothing was planned out like it happened. And also build connections. Don't be afraid to share. I myself can be an introvert, but it really is about who you know and the connections with people that you make and the relationships that you make. Those things will take you much further than honestly your resume or other factors that are considered.
Yeah, I could not agree more with that. Networking was huge for me. Obviously right now things are a little bit crazy with not being able to go to as many events, but I recommend to get on as many, virtual things you can with people, stay in contact as much as possible with anyone you can, because your connections and your network is huge. So that's my main piece of advice. And then my second piece is to make sure that, you're staying true to yourself in anything that you do. If, you have, someone telling you this is what you need to do, make sure it's something that, you are thinking about and realizing are you doing it for other people or are you doing it for yourself and what's going to make you truly happy? Because, your life ahead of you is a long road. And I spent the first 4 years out of college being content. And now I'm doing what I've actually always wanted to do. And that, I wish I could have done it sooner, but it all led up to here as well. And then my third piece of advice would just be to don't feel like you have to have it all together as soon as you graduate. You're not going to get your dream job right away, most likely. And even then you might realize it's not your dream job. I thought I wanted to go to grad school right away out of college. But as soon as I started working, I was working with people in their late 20s and early 30s who were just starting grad school and said, don't do it. You need years of experience first. And so now I've taken this time, and now I'm just now thinking about going back next year to get my MBA. And had I done it right away, I wouldn't have focused in entrepreneurship, which is what, if I go back next year, which is my plan, is an entrepreneurship. So that way it'll help benefit our business and continue learning for us. So you don't have to have it all together right away. You will learn as you go.
All really sound and great pieces of advice. On behalf of everybody who will have a chance to view this, know that we're cheering for you as well. We're praying for you as well. We definitely want to see our alums succeed. And
thank you for listening. If you made it this far, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. It's at Divinely Planted Marketing. You or anyone you know need any help, let us know. That's our little shout out. So yeah.
I love it. We'll make sure the links are in the bottom of the video. And thanks, ladies, for being here. Really appreciate you giving your time and sharing the story and advice with our students and all the viewers out there.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks.